Hello and welcome back to Oak Farm Firewood YouTube channel. Sorry there's been a bit of a delay in videos. I've just been manic trying to get orders out when the kiln first got going. So this will be my third batch going in. Second batch is still in there, it's just about to come out. I'll just run you through what I've got in there at the moment. So at the moment I've got about 8 cages of hardwood and this 1 cage of softwood for kindling that I threw in 2 days ago because I ran out of kindling. It's not full all the way to the front. Don't know if you can see through there, but I've just been pushing them in from the back because I haven't got a ramp yet to drive inside. Now I haven't actually finished off the ducting yet because I need a part to come and it's taking a while to come. So at the moment it's literally coming out through the wall and blowing into the container. So the bulk of the heat is at the front and I'm stacking at the back, which isn't very good really. So this next batch I'm gonna make sure I get all the way to the front. I want to use the pallet truck there just to fill it all the way right to the front. Put the hardwood at the front and the softwood at the back. So I'll just go and turn the boiler down. So I've got it set to 110 degrees and it's currently sitting at 108. So it's burning out pretty hot air there. So I'm just going to turn it down for when I'm unloading and loading back up again. So it's not trying to keep temperature in there. It will just go down into slumber mode. So I'll set it at 60, but it probably won't even get down to that anyway because the residual heat inside the boiler. So this next batch that's going in the boiler, I've got 6 cages of softwood cut to 15 centimetre for kindling. Smells absolutely lovely. And then I've got 6 cages of ash, well 90% ash, the rest of it's just good hardwoods. That's cut to, what is that cut to? 23 centimetres. And then I've got 2 IBCs just to go in as boiler fuel, just odds and ends. And bits of stuff that wouldn't have made good kindling. You can see I've been cutting up and processing softwood recently, and then there's a bit of ash at the bottom. That should easily see me through the next batch. So roughly it takes about 2 IBCs to do a batch, which is 4 days, 5 days maybe, depending on how wet it goes in. So I'm going to unload this now and then I'll video loading back up again, and I'll also show you inside the container of where the air is currently coming from, because it's not actually plumbed in correctly at the moment. So I'm part way through unloading here. As you can see, I had quite a big gap at the front and that's where the hot air is coming out of, so I'm not utilising all the heat really. And as you can see, it gets pretty warm in here. So that starts to stretch. But yeah. They've opened right up now. You know, anyone you look at. Nice and dry. I've been doing tests and they're about 6 to 8 on the outside and about 16 to 18 on the inside and the centre when you split them down the middle. Right, I'll finish unloading these and then I'll get the ash to the front because that's where the main heat is and that's what takes the longest to dry. And then softwood will go at the back and then the boiler fuel will go right at the back near the doors, just because it's least important really. It's still important to get it dry for the boiler, but my customers' logs are the most important, so. Okay. God, this thing's a beast. Right. So at the moment, it's literally just coming straight out there. 110 degree air. I mean, I can set it, but that's what I've been pumping out in the day. I don't know if you would have heard of that. In the day, I'm pumping out about 110 degrees. And then at night I turn it down to about 65, 70 degrees. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. As you can see, this is starting to warp, so if you're going to build your own, go metal and probably put fireproof cabling in. I might be doing it over summer, I'm not sure yet, but at the moment I'm just going to have to deal with it. That's why I'm not turning it up to 120 degrees on the max, because I just don't want to start melting things. And the fans are only rated to 70 anyway, so yeah. Right, it's starting to get dark now. We'll load up this ash first, and then the kindling, and then the boiler fuel. I'll do a time lapse. It's going to take a little while with the pallet truck, but I'll get that ramp sorted soon. Right, so you're probably all wondering, why am I just pushing them in from here? Well, because when you have 5 or 6 cages in front of you, my forklift can't push it. So I need to make sure I can get at least the back ones in the right place. I'm going to put 2 softwoods in there with a pallet truck, and then I've only got to push 3 in then. And I'm just going to push them in, keep pushing them in from the back. So back to the time lapse. Whew, that is it. That empty IBC there was just to push them in, just to get them away from the doors a little bit. Well, she's pretty much full. Now, I don't really like to stack them too high when I haven't got all this plumbed in, because the air doesn't travel around as well. So I just want a nice even flow through it. I did pull out 2 logs here, so we'll run some tests in a minute, and I'll show you what the moisture is now. It's Tuesday night, it's about 6 o'clock. Outside air temperature is about 5 or 6 degrees. It's been foggy all day, so it's pretty miserable day. So as I said, just to recap, got 6 hardwood cages, 6 softwood cages, and 2 boiler fuel. Right, we'll shut up the container now. So as you can see, we've got a bit of smoke coming out of there. That's just because the boiler's in slumber mode, so it's not using any fuel really, it's just plodding along. So we'll go and turn that back up again. I'm going to turn it up to 100 degrees now, and then at roughly about 10 o'clock tonight I'll turn it down to 65, and that will see me through into the morning then. Because it's quite cold out, so you can't really hear me. Because it's quite cold outside, when we started it was at 108 degrees. It's dropped down to 58 degrees now. So what I'm going to do is turn it back up to 100 degrees. And then I'm going to fill up the boiler with some more fuel. Open the chimney flap, crack the door a little bit. There could be a blowback. There's a lot wood fumes in there. So as you can see, we've got a really good ember pile of embers. So what I'll do now, I'll give that a rummage round. It's a bit hard with one hand. What I'll do is I'll give it a good rummage round, and then I'll clear the holes, and then I'll fill it up. So I'll just step back and fill it up. I'm not too worried about putting big bits on now because I'm coming out at 10 o'clock anyway. I'd rather leave the big bits till later. Right, I'll give you a quick look in there now. Shut that up. Shut the chimney flap. Turn it back on. So what you'll do is you'll see this change when it gets hot enough. And start to hear the rumble of the gasification now. So one might have ignited, but there's 2 nozzles, so there's a little bit of smoke. I'll be honest, that's more like steam now. Maybe a wet log went in there. Yeah, so you can see your breath, so it's pretty cold out here. we'll just have a quick look and see if both are going. Yeah, so both nozzles are going. That is seriously hot. So we'll turn that off. Now that kiln will take quite a long time to actually warm up in there because all the wood is sapping the heat up. So for the first 2 days, I mean, it barely gets that hot. And then third and fourth, fifth day, it actually gets pretty hot in there. Right, so what we'll do, we'll take these inside, we'll give them a quick test. So we've got a reference for the first day when they go in. Right, so you're sat on top of the transport at the moment. I've got a Bosch moisture meter. It's not the best, it's not the worst. You can recalibrate it if it's out, so there's magnets on the back of here, and I've got it in B mode, so it should be reading between 9.8 and 10.4. Come on, what's it doing? Oh, it's not doing it now. There you go. So it's saying 9.2, so it's a little bit out. So what you can do is recalibrate it at the bottom here, but it's up to 10. So you've recalibrated it there. Right. For the ash, it's 25.34 on the outside. Let me split it in the middle. Right, so she's pretty tough. 27, yeah. 28, so she's pretty wet. I wouldn't sell that. I can't sell anything above 20%. I wouldn't want to burn that anyway. It's heavy, it'll hiss, it'll make a mess. Right, so the softwood, it's at 23, 22, pretty much 23. I split it in half anyway. So this softwood's been down since December, and we're getting a March now. So inside it's actually 20%. So it's not too bad, but for kindling, I want it bone dry. As I said, I ran out of kindling the other day. So I put a cage in. I'll just run and grab a bit out of that now. So as I was saying, I ran out of kindling, so I put a cage in just to see me through. It's been in there 2 days, hasn't been in there that long. 7.3. I'll split it open, but it's actually still warm, so it could be giving me a false reading. But it normally gives you a false reading in the wrong direction, so that's pretty accurate. I'll split it in half anyway. Oh, 22. What's happened there then? There is a knot there. 11. I don't know what happened there. There is a knot there. It is very hot. Yeah, it's very hot in here. So it's probably putting my reading off. Yeah, I mean, it's saying 30 there, and it's definitely not 30. It's very light, and it's got cracks all the way through it. So it being hot has sent the reader off. Yeah, that's very dry. So that's going to be the end of today's video. We've loaded up the kiln, and we're going to test it every single day. So I'll do a mini video every day, just to keep you updated with what the moisture is and how much it's dropping. So if you want to keep an eye on that, make sure you subscribe and put the bell icon on so it reminds you. This log cleaner, it's nearly there. I've run out of bars and I need to make it more of a vigorous angle because they don't really slide down that well. So that's my mistake. But anyway, that will be coming soon. First thing in the morning, I'm going to start bagging up these by hand. Yeah, that's right, by hand. Glorious. I will be getting a box rotator on the front of my forklift before next season, but just to get me through, this is what I'm going to have to do. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the kiln, and I'm going to start doing some other videos now, just about firewood. So yeah, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.